So welcome everyone to Future Dreams Podcast and Diffuse. My name is Colin Harvey and my newest guest is one of my favourite actors ever, I repeat, ever, is Brian Beacock, who is the voice of Monokuma from Danganronpa and so many more that you can even write down. So thank you for being here, Brian.
Thank you so much for having me. This is fun.
It's going to be even more fun. That's all I can say. Not being biased. So, first question: what got you into acting? What made you become an actor?
You know, it's a really great question, and I don't know that I've actually heard that question before. A lot of people say, "What got me into voice acting?" But acting itself, I don't know. I remember being 6 or 7 years old and knowing that I wanted to perform. I was already I took piano at 7 and drums at 10, and my dad was a musician, and I was always doing little skits and stuff with my sister and my cousins and things. So it was kind of in my blood in that way. But the minute I could be in a play, I think I was 13 years old, and I was in The Brave Little Tailor at a little community play. And literally from that age on, I was doing shows and plays and community theater and then commercials, etc. So I just don't remember ever wanting to do anything else. And fortunately, that's all I've been doing pretty much.
That's great. So what was your first ever series? What was your first ever animation, anime, game, whichever started your career to make you big?
Well, my first series, I'm trying to remember. I think my first series, not my first animation. My first animation was an original animation with Nickelodeon called Globe Hunters, and that starred Willem Dafoe and Chaka Khan, and I played Trevor the talking parrot. So I had to do all these impressions and stuff like that. It was very fun. Then I did a play where I played 38 different characters called Fully Committed. And at that time, I was working at Universal Studios with Mary Elizabeth McGlynn. She was the Bride of Frankenstein, and I was Phantom of the Opera. And we sang and danced all day at Universal in Hollywood. Very fun. So she saw me in this play doing all these different characters. And I think she emailed me or whatever. And she said, I have this show that I'm directing, because she was directing at that time as well. She said, I have this show that I'm directing. I think you might be right for. Do you want to come in? So I came in, and I had never seen really much anime at all. I grew up with Speed Racer, and I didn't watch that much, you know. So I didn't know anything about this world. And I auditioned for Takato in Digimon Tamers, Digimon Season 3. And gosh, I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, I knew how to act. I knew how to act the scene, but everything from the booth and how to work the microphone and how to dub, you know, the beep, beep, beeps, and then matching the flaps of the Japanese animation. It was all new to me. So I knew I did a good job as far as the acting went, but I didn't think I booked it. And sure enough, about 2 months later or whatever, I got the call that I booked the show. So Digimon was my first series ever. And gosh, it was quite a ride. It was so much fun. And then, of course, I went on to do Season 4 and Season 5 of that as well.
That's awesome, because I'm not gonna lie, I think Dragon Ball and Digimon were my first ever anime I watched when I was a kid, because it wasn't really much anime when I was a kid on TV, because we only have animation, we don't have anime sadly. But Digimon was on Cartoon Network. I used to watch it and I absolutely loved it. And I will say that Digimon to me is, in my opinion, my favorite and probably better than Pokemon. No offense to Pokemon fans out there. That's just me and that's just my opinion. And
it's funny you're asking for a fight, right? You know, from all the viewers. Yeah, and I've never seen Pokemon. I've never seen it. I was always jealous of the games and the cards and all that stuff, you know, Pokemon Go and all that stuff. I wish there was a Digimon thing, but especially Season 3 of Tamers. It was so well written and so well directed and much more serious and dark and really about the personal relationships. So yeah, I really loved that season especially.
Yeah, and also about Digimon, I just feel like there's more story to it. It's not as repetitive. Again, that's just my opinion. I'm not disrespecting or saying bad stuff about Pokemon. I just feel like Digimon has more development and more story to it, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I hadn't seen Pokemon, but I mean, of course, Digimon did, like, you know, each week we're going to Digimodify and we're going to battle, blah, blah, blah. But in between all that, and also, you know, running alongside of that was all these really cool personal relationships and conflicts and things like that that you would find in a regular series arc. It wasn't like what I call a love boat show. New people every week, same situations happen, everything gets resolved. You know, to a certain extent, the show had it, but there was some really cool through line stuff that finished at the very end of the series. So,
absolutely agree. So to my next question, who do you think is in your opinion, what was the most hardest character that you've ever had to voice? Like, of all the characters you voice, who do you struggle with tone, character, and understanding of the reason why your character the way they are?
Well, the last thing you said, why the character is the way they are, fortunately, our directors and our translators are so great, because, you know, when we're recording, we're only seeing pretty much 2 or 3 lines that are in the show. We're only seeing our stuff. So the director's job in the booth to tell us what's happened, what's going to happen, what the character's motivation is, and stuff like that. So fortunately, I've had some really great directors to help me through to understand, you know, why is this character doing this? Why is he killing that person? Why is he eating that food, etc. But as far as the most difficult character to deal with, it's probably got to be Sakon and Ukon from Naruto. The voice, you know, already it's like hurting my voice just thinking about it. The voices were so like harsh and gravelly, you know, shall we kill him now, brother? And that was the brother who had the least gravelly voice. And the animation was so wonky because, you know, he's got the one brother on his back and they're spinning around and all that stuff. And so sometimes the directors, because we kind of switched out directors, sometimes the directors wouldn't know who said which line. So even when it was translated, it said Sakon or Ukon is saying this line. So I would have to record lines twice and let the editor figure it out in post. So my voice is just like hamburger by the end of the session. And then, of course, I think they die or whatever in the series, but they kept coming back for video games. So I was always like, oh, is it going to be Chojuro? Is it going to be so-and-so? And they're like, no, it's Sakon Ukon. I'm like, oh my God, my voice. So yeah, I must have done Sakon and Ukon so many times, and they were really incredibly difficult to do, but fun, and they looked cool. So
I'm actually quite shocked because I actually never knew you were in Naruto, and I've watched nearly from beginning to end. I mean, once you watch the anime, you know, with the credits, you just want to love the character.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm also Chojuro, so I'm in Boruto as well as Chojuro.
You're in Boruto.
Yeah.
I haven't watched that yet, but I'm going to tonight.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's supposed to be great. I haven't seen a lot of it, but yeah, I was one of the few characters that carried over from Naruto to Boruto, so I was happy about that.
Yeah, at first I watched the movie. The movie was good, and the voice of Boruto was the voice of Naruto. I don't know how you pronounce her name. Miley.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
great. that was just a first guess, lucky. But in the anime series, she's voiced by Amanda Celine Miller.
Yes, Amanda Miller. Yeah, good friend of mine. Yep.
Great, because
she's great.
How I know that is because she's the voice of Toko Fukawa, and Juku Inoshima, and so many other characters with Danganronpa, and she's amazing. She
is amazing, and she's so funny. We saw each other not too long ago, pre-pandemic, of course, but went to Starbucks, of course, because that's the only place I ever go. And we hung out. But she's just very funny. In fact, gosh, it was Amanda. We did a premiere opening for, I don't know if it was Trigger Happy Havoc or what. I don't know which game it was for Danganronpa, But they flew us out to San Francisco because the creators of the game in Japan were doing this big party at this club in San Francisco, and they flew us out there, and we had to like announce ourselves and how happy we were to be there, etc. But everybody spoke Japanese, and we didn't. I mean, I'm sure they spoke English too, but it was just very strange. We didn't really know what we were supposed to do, but they kind of like handed us the mics and were like, "Hey, we're very happy to be here. We love the game. Thanks so much." But it was really, really fun. And then we went all over San Francisco and played. So that was cool.
That is so cool. We actually went to a party for Danganronpa.
It was amazing. And you just saying that, talking about Amanda, made me remember that. And the whole time, like flying there and in the car going to the hotel and stuff, we're both like, we don't really know what we're doing. What are we doing here? What's going to happen tonight? But it was really fun. And they were also incredibly kind and sweet and stuff. So
yeah, I have a feeling the celebration was because this year will be the 10th anniversary of Danganronpa in Japan.
Oh wow, yeah.
So that might be the reason. Maybe it's a big anniversary party for Danganronpa.
It could be, yeah, it could be.
So this leads me to a new subject for this, and this is going to be all Danganronpa questions.
Uh-oh.
Because I am a complete Danganronpa nerd.
Well, then you can help me.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll also be spraying facts for you, which I'm going to mention for the character you voice, Monokuma. Here's a fact for you, and you probably might not know this.
Right.
In Danganronpa, before we got the anime-styled game, the original demo was called Danganronpa Distrust. And in the game, you play as Makoto, and depending on who you interact with students, they'll either give you a trust and a distrust level. So the more time you spend with them, they'll trust you. But if you say something wrong, they'll distrust you. And they'll depending on who gets executed and so and somewhat. But the most shocking, and a lot of fans hate this design for Monokuma. This is like one of the most disliked designs of Danganronpa. And Monokuma wasn't the bear that we know and love today, but actually he was like a human-like figure with half of him with his skin and everything, and the other side of him was his inside guts and his eyeballs and everything. It was like all red, like a Titan really from Attack on Titan. So
right.
he was the biggest change. That was when I first saw it, I was like, nah, that's not real. That's just someone drew that. But yeah, it's the actual design of Monokuma. So black side was his human flesh. This side was the insides of the regular body.
You know, it makes me wonder, like, why the change happened. Like, was it user comments or just like, you know, everybody working on the game? They just said, let's make him a little bit more, you know.
I think
I wonder why it changed.
Sorry, I think it's because of Japan audience and for marketing sales. I think they made him a bear to make him more somewhat calmer and more friendlier. Well, that's a bit of a wrong way to say it, but yeah, I feel like it's because of the audience and marketing. I think that's why he's a bear and not half human.
Certainly marketing, because look at Doraemon too. Like look at how much merchandising Monokuma has. It'd be very difficult to do a lot of merchandising given his original design. So it's very smart on their part to make him this cute, slightly maniacal, you know, plushy teddy bear.
Yeah,
that's so funny. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Totally, you can go on Danganronpa wiki online, and it'll give you so much information and everything. And it'll give you the characters' birthdays, except Monokuma because he doesn't have a birthday.
Right. Oh, that's cool.
So so speaking of Monokuma, how did you do his voice? Like, how did you get to do Monokuma? How did you get the role for him?
I auditioned through a studio in Los Angeles called Bang Zoom, and they did all the recording for it. And then I don't know which parent company it led up to, but it was done at Bang Zoom. And I had done several shows for Bang Zoom, a lot of shows for Bang Zoom. So it kind of works in this industry that either through your agent or directors that you've worked with or producers, or a lot of the time studios, studios kind of assist in the casting. So they just sent me an email, I think, I think I had an audio reference to the original Monokuma voice. I don't remember her name. I don't know if she passed away or not, but it was a woman who played Monokuma. And they said for my audition that they wanted it to be similar in range. So for me, I knew, oh, well, I'm going to have to be pretty high because a woman doing it would be like in the alto, mezzo, soprano range. But for me, it's definitely a tenor range. So they said similar in style, similar in range, but make it your own and make it funny. And so I just did, I think I submitted an audition and emailed it to them. And then I think I remember going into the studio and doing another reading or an audition there. And I knew nothing about it. I didn't know anything about the character. I didn't know anything about, well, there wasn't a show, an anime then, but anything about the game or anything like that. But when I got it, I thought, this is crazy. First of all, very funny, very edgy comedy, of course, questionable language. But we just laughed. We laughed so much. And I did the first game and I thought, well, that was really great. That was really fun. And then another one came, and then another one came. And then the fandom started, which has been great, and conventions and all that stuff. So it's really been a big part of my voiceover career in a very short period of time, and something that I'm very grateful for. I love him. And yet I don't have a plushie or a pillow like you do. So I need to get those.
Yeah.
Your pillow's awesome. You have to show your pillow. Show your pillow. I think that's the most amazing thing. Come on. Oh.
Oh, stop. Don't stage me.
Sorry.
It's
oh my gosh.
That
is so, I just love that. I gotta find one.
Well, that's not the only Danganronpa merch I've got. I've got 2 figures from the anime, and I've got Kaede's bag.
Wow. Where do you get all your stuff? eBay or what?
I got my bag on eBay because it was part of the Danganronpa Feed 3 collection. I pre-ordered one, but I didn't get it because, well, just bet it's from a website. You can't trust them. So I go on eBay and it was less money than you thought it would be. I downloaded all the games, even Ultra Despair Girls, a criminally underrated game, which I really like.
Oh wow, I haven't seen it.
You haven't played Danganronpa Ultra Despair Girls?
Nope. Here's an interesting story. I don't own a gaming system.
Really?
The only gaming system I ever owned was when I was growing up, and that was an Atari. So I haven't played any of my games. It's terrible, and I really want to now. I have like an addictive personality, not with like drugs or alcohol or anything like that. But if I'm playing a game, because I do it on my phone, I'm just worried that I will spend my entire life in front of the television playing these games. So I've never gotten a game system, but I should, right?
Well, good news for you, and good thing for Danganronpa, how popular it is. You can now buy Danganronpa to download on your phone. You can play the actual game.
No.
I'm not kidding.
Okay, I didn't know that. That's amazing. I'm sweating. Here, I'm gonna wipe my face. It's hot. It's hot here in New York, right?
Yeah. So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was to celebrate the 10th anniversary. I think you can register for them, I think, or you can actually play them, but it's just slowly progressing. But you can actually play the first 3 games. It actually makes sense, especially that you move your mouse, go forward, left, right, choose. So yeah, you can download the games on your phone, but only Danganronpa 1, Triple Happy Havoc, Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair, V3, Killing Harmony, and that's it. You can play Ultra Despair Girl, sadly.
Got it. And it's my voice on those games, right? On the phone?
Yes, absolutely. You can choose English or Japanese.
That's so funny. I wonder if I should be getting a check in the mail. Nope, probably not. Probably not. Oh, that's cool. I'm gonna do that. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Just before I let out. So you mentioned the original voice actress of Danganronpa in the Japanese. She didn't actually pass away. She sadly has dementia.
Oh, right.
So she doesn't do Monokuma anymore. But for Feed 3 and the second half of the anime Japanese dub, there's this woman called Toroko, and she is really good as Monokuma.
Oh, good. Oh, that's awesome.
And I was a little unsure at first, but honestly, there is no difference. And she's got, like you, and the same as the original voice actress, she actually has like the sweetness and the evilness of both sides of Monokuma. Like, you love it, but you're also scared of it at the same time. That's what I love about Toroko.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Now, big question. Who was your favorite Monokub?
Oh, it's so funny. So I don't remember their names, but I think but I won't know who they are. But I remember the New Yorker one was my favorite one to voice. There's one that sounds like a Bronx or a Brooklyn, New York bear. Do you know his name?
Monosuke.
Yeah, Monosuke. He was just fun to do. And I think we actually recorded a lot of lines that didn't even make it into the show. Because, I mean, really, that script for that game was so crazy and so offensive and hysterical. We were scream laughing in the studio. But yeah, I think he was probably my favorite.
That's cool. I actually like Monosuke. I like all of them, to be fair. Well, except Monophony.
Why?
The daughter. She's
What's
just... The Monophony is the daughter. She just creeps me out. She goes, "Oh, Daddy, your tongue feels amazing." And she also has a child with Monotaro, which is... Mono Kid I love because he's voiced by Patrick Seitz, who does Pokemon Nidai, which I love.
That's a very good Patrick Seitz.
Thank you. I think I can also do so many impressions, but I think Nikomaro is probably the best one I can do.
That's so funny. I love Patrick. He's great.
He's incredible. I hope to interview him one day. But I know he's
he would love that. He's so funny too. We did a couple conventions together. He's great and a great director. He's a great director. He's directed me in a lot of games. He's really awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd like to interview him one day because I also messaged him on Twitter because he was wearing an Inside Out shirt and he voices the bear. He goes, "Somebody order a broccoli pizza," because he and I was like, he's not even credited in that movie. I'm like, are you serious?
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I think my friend Lori Allen is in that movie as well. She's one of the little characters, the emotions or whatever. I haven't seen it.
Oh, you should.
I need to watch it.
It's a very emotional, very beautiful, wholesome Pixar movie. I remember watching that when I moved somewhere at home, and I was like, I think this movie's going to help us, and it actually kind of did. It made me and my family closer.
Oh, I love to hear that. That's awesome. I mean, that's what it's for, man. That's great. That would be probably on Disney Plus, right?
Yeah,
probably.
That's Pixar for you. Pixar is probably my favorite movie studio ever.
Agree. They're so great. And
so imaginative because, no offense to Disney in that, because for Disney, they copy fairy tales, myths, legendary, but for Pixar, they make movies based on experience, how they go through, understanding people in life, and just from the butterfly effect, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Because Pete Docter, the voice of Up, me and my family's favorite Pixar movie.
Mm-hmm.
It is Dollar voiced Ellie as a child.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and Pete Docter, who also directed Inside Out, the reason how he got the idea for that movie was because when his daughter was a kid doing Up, she was so fun, wild, talked a lot. But when she got older, She just seemed quiet, more to herself. And he said to himself, what's she thinking inside her head? And that's what got the idea of Inside Out.
Wow. That's so interesting. That's amazing. That's really cool. I love that.
For you.
Yeah, amazing.
Cool. Won an Oscar as well for it.
Well, yeah. Can you imagine? I wonder where all their Oscars are. I had a friend who worked over at Disney Animation, and I'd been inside the studio a couple times, and the awards are just everywhere. They just line the walls. You know, they have so many. They use them as door stops. They're just phenomenal.
That's great. That's very funny as well to hear. Anyways, so we've mentioned Monokid, Monosuke, Monofi. What do you think of Monotaro and Monodam? Monodam's the robot, Monotaro's the one with the scarf and the ninja stars. And they're both
so I don't remember that. I don't remember that. And since I haven't played it, I don't remember. So tell me about it.
So Monotaro is voiced by Sean Chiplock.
Okay, yep.
He also voiced Kayotaka Ishimaru from Danganronpa 1 Trigami Havoc. Such a great character, and personally my favorite in the game.
Cool.
And Monodam is voiced by Jason Wishnoff, I think, the voice of Byakuya Togami.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know those characters. Since I haven't played the game, I don't remember that scene. If I'm not in that scene, I wouldn't really know it.
Sorry. I just thought
right.
I forget that if Monosuke mentioned his brother or his sister or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't know. It's so funny. It's so strange to get questions about a show, especially a game that I haven't seen, but also like it was recorded so long ago. So I have little fragments in my mind of recording things. Like I'm trying to remember who even directed the first game. I know Wendy Lee directed the third one, which was the most recent one. And that's the one I remember the most with the Mono Cubs. Yeah, I really wish, and I always wish this when I'm recording them, I wish there was a way to be able to keep the script, but NDAs and all that stuff, you can't. But oh my gosh, I'd love to read through all the stuff that didn't make it into the game because it was ridiculous.
I am not actually surprised. Knowing Wendy Lee on social media, her directing and so much, and even from her performance as Miui Ruma, the ultimate inventor.
Good.
She was brilliant, but I think she's probably the most funniest character in the entire Danganronpa series.
Yes. This is Wendy Lee?
Wendy Lee, yeah, as Miui Ruma.
Yeah.
Fun fact about her character, Miui Ruma. The creator of the game, Kazutaka Kodaka, said the reason why he designed Miu the way she is, so she can be disliked by fans. But ironically, she's the fourth most popular character in Thief 3.
Of course, because fans are crazy and funny, and everybody likes to go the opposite way. I think that's amazing. I think that's so cool.
I agree.
They wanted her to be hated, and people just like thronged to her and loved her. That's great. So great.
Sorry, a lot of fans cosplay as her too, and I thought, I don't think she'll ever be cosplayed most popularly, but then, yeah, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, so much people cosplay, and TikToks, people cosplay as Miu. Wendy Lee, they say Wendy Liu, Wendy Lee's most popular character in Danganronpa 3 over Akane. Ultimate Gym.
That's funny. I just worked with Wendy Lee a couple of days ago. She directed me in a news show, which I can't talk about, obviously. But I wonder if she knows about that her character is so popular. I'm gonna have to message her and see what her world is. Does she go to conventions, or does she know that there's this huge fandom for that role? Because I hadn't heard that. That's awesome.
Totally. Maybe I'll interview her as well one day, and we'll talk more about Miui Ruma, Akane Owari.
Oh my gosh. If you can get Wendy Lee, in fact, I'll talk to her too. I'll
sure.
I'll give you a good reference. But
Thank you.
She knows, she's worked with everybody, and both as an actor and a director, and she is so funny and so talented, and just has years of stories to tell. So she'd be a great get. So let's make that happen.
Thank you so much, Brian. That'll be great. Oh, she's wow.
Yeah, she's great.
I can tell. She's awesome. But saying that, a lot of the cast in Danganronpa are amazing. Like Erika Harlacher as Kyoko Kirigiri and Kaede, or Kaede in English she'll call her. And Derek Stephen Prince. I got my autograph from him last year as Kokichi.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. He put, "It's a lie." Every time I hear that line, I think of something from Jerry Springer or something.
Yeah. Yeah, he's an old Digimon guy. We're actually going to do a convention in a couple months together. Might be either in Chicago or Iowa. I'm not sure, but he's great. And so, again, so talented, as is Erika. She's brilliant. So
everyone's great in Danganronpa. You especially. Yeah. You're the king.
Thank you.
Fine, take something. Fine. But yeah, what was I saying before? So, but I mentioned Derek Stephen Prince as Kokichi. Right, a lot of fans, and me included, we all thought that Bryce Papenbrook was voicing Kokichi.
Oh.
When we watched the trailer and Kokichi goes, "That's Kade's lie, isn't it?" People go, "That's Bryce, that's Bryce, that's Bryce." But no, it's Derek Stephen Prince, and wow.
That's so funny. I don't really think of their voices as sounding similar, but of course, given a certain line and a certain delivery, that can happen all the time. That's really funny. Yeah, I just did a convention with Bryce last weekend in New York. He's so cool. Bryce is so much fun and so cool and so talented and like just a go-getter, and he's awesome. But it's funny, I've had a couple people message me and like, "Hey, are you the new voice of this, or are you on this?" And the answer is always no. But I guess there's a lot of people out there that sound like me too. So just the way it goes.
That's understandable. I mean, especially that not everyone sounds the same, but everyone's got a different vocal range. And everyone has the right tone. I think it's very understandable that people will mistake people for so many characters. Especially for me, really, because I'm not gonna lie, when I saw Danganronpa 3 and before the English dub got cast, I had a strong feeling from listening to the Japanese dub and look at the characters. I had a feeling that Dorothy Fawn was going to voice Samuki Shirogane. I just knew it. I just knew. Maybe because she looks like Sayaka and Dorothy put together. And Kira Buckland as Kurumi Tojo, the ultimate maid, who is my Danganronpa waifu. Maybe she'll clean up for me while I make a mess. But jokes aside, the reason why I thought she would voice Kurumi was because Kurumi looks so similar to the character she voiced the same year, and that's 2B from Nier Automata. Because if you put Kurumi and 2B together, they look so similar, and that's why I thought, yeah, I have a feeling Kira Buckland's got to return to Danganronpa and voice Kurumi.
Got it. Was there anybody that got cast that was surprising or different than you thought before it happened?
Honestly, Kokichi was. I actually thought it was going to be Bryce because he voiced Nagito and the most craziest character, but also the best character in the series, in my opinion. Not the best, but the best, craziest character and the most original. Right. Julianne Taylor, who did Ibuki Miyoda, who is my second favorite character, well, third, first being Monokuma. Kurumi, my third favorite. She's just so full of energy. She's just such a great character. And I thought, I can understand her being Tenko because she does I can imagine her voice, because I actually put a little photo of Tenko and putting it with one of Ibuki's lines. I'm like, that matches. I think that they're both going to go together.
Oh my gosh, how funny.
But for Angie, people, me included as well, we have no idea who is the voice of Angie. We actually thought it was Marie Harrington, who is the voice of Celestia Ludenberg. But apparently, according to the website on Wiki, she's the voice of Aoi Asahina. I think it's Cassandra Lee Morris.
Yeah.
I think she's Angie, one of the most disliked characters in the series. Pretty thoughtful one.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's sad that how a happy-go-lucky character is so hated. I think it's because I'm not saying because of spoilers, but yeah, she's disliked in the series.
Oh, I love that.
Because I was watching.
Yeah, I haven't seen the series either.
The anime, you mean?
Yeah, the anime. I haven't seen it.
It's not gonna lie, it is quite sad that the original cast from the games didn't return to the anime. I'm really a little up and down with it, but on the bright side, I liked how the actors got a chance to be part of a big fan base. Really, like Austin Tindall, who is one of my favorite actors of all time. Austin Tindall is he's inspired me a lot with everyone else, and he always gets asked a lot to do "No Rain the Whole Way" by Tucker, but that's who his voice is, and it's hard to say who did the role better because I think everyone did just as equal with the characters, because Sean did great in the game, Austin did great in the anime, and Greg Aries, I can't pronounce his last name, Aries, he voices one of the Kuma.
Yeah, I think it's Ayers, but I'm not sure. I could be wrong. But I think it's Greg Ayers, but I could be wrong.
I don't want no disrespect or anything to him. I think he did great Monokuma, but I didn't see the sweetness in his voice, because instead of going he goes nyeh, nyeh, nyeh. He does. He goes nyeh, nyeh, nyeh. And it's like, is he laughing or is he coughing off verbals?
Oh God. Well, it's funny, because I've been in his position before, because I've replaced other people as well. It's a weird world. Like I replaced, I don't know the name of the actor, but in Tales of Symphonia, I played Lloyd Irving, but someone had played Lloyd Irving before me. So the fans, of course, go crazy and they hate me, or they love me and they hate whatever. It's the name of the game. But and also too, however he played that role, fans always have to remember that it's not just the actor that makes those choices. It's the actor, the producer, whatever. Maybe the producers wanted to go in a completely different direction. You never know. But he's a great actor, and from what I hear
absolutely. He's so incredible. He's been so many great series, and he's been a lot of series that I love that are quite underrated, like Dead Man Wonderland, who he plays the main character in. And I hope maybe in the future we get a remake or season 2 and we get to hear him voice Gonta again, because that's one of his best roles ever. And
how cool.
And one of my friends who's wrote a comic series, he wants Greg to voice the adopted son called Elias, and like, I'm not gonna lie, I think he'll do great for that character.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I've never met Greg. I think he's out in Texas. There's a lot of actors out in Texas that I haven't worked with. They're out working for Funimation. But yeah, it'd be fun to have a little like LA, Texas meetup so we can all see some of the people that we've worked with.
That'd be great.
These many years. Yeah, exactly.
I think Kyle Hebert from Texas, Kaito Momota and Kazuichi Soda, 2 of the best characters he's ever voiced. Because you've got the smelly mechanic who's got short teeth, and he's so fun, he's so energetic, he's so dim-witted, but you love him for it.
Yes.
He's got Kaito, who is like, to me, Kaito's kind of like the Batman in V3.
Oh.
But he keeps calling Shuichi his sidekick, and he always thinks he's the top dog and everything. And
right.
I mean, sorry, I said that wrong. He thinks he's Batman, but really he's like the Robin in a way, because Shuichi's more of the Batman, because he's the ultimate detective. Duh.
Yeah, exactly.
Dark Knight, the greatest detective ever. But yeah, I was also quite, at first, when I saw that, I'm not saying spoilers, but for Kaide, she was supposed to be the main protagonist, but then she was taken away from her. Not saying why. And I thought, and Grant George, who voiced Leon in the first game, which is a little character, and Shuichi is a major character, as most people know. It was quite reversed, because Kyoko in the first game voiced with Erika was a major role, and Kaide was like a minor role. And Grant voice Leon is a minor role in the first game, but Shuichi bigger in the big game. So they kind of like had their fair share, like they're more heard of in the last game and each game. So I like how equal it is for each character, how much they've been in the game, how much less they've been, and that's just great for them.
Yeah, and also too, like it really works to an actor's advantage. Number one, to be in a really, really popular game or TV show, but then to have a really huge story arc. It really helps for conventions and fan base and credit and cachet and all that stuff. So it's really cool that, maybe if you got the short end of the stick in the first game, at least you got to come back with a larger role in game 2 or 3 or what have you.
I know that you haven't played the games and you don't know much about the characters, but from their designs, which student do you like?
Oh gosh, so I know more about the cosplay than I do the actual designs of the game. So there's one character. I don't know the name of the character, but big pink puffy hair. That could be a lot of the girls, right?
Yeah.
Pink, or maybe not always pink. Maybe it's white. But big puffy ponytails and the schoolgirl outfit. But I'm seeing that a lot at these Comic-Cons. Do you know who that might be?
You should know. She's the creator of Monokuma.
Oh, is that her? Yes. Okay.
You know Shima, the ultimate despair.
I know. I was so upset by that.
Despair.
Despair. I was so upset by that when I found out that like Monokuma wasn't really this killing bear, but the product and the creation of someone else. Was that something that the fans also felt and were upset by, or was it such a great reveal that they thought it was cool?
It was shocking, I'll admit that, but it would be if Monokuma was, in a way, that would be a bit weird, but that's Danganronpa for you. To me, Danganronpa's like Big Brother mixed with Saw. Seriously, put Big Brother and Saw together.
God. That's very true. Yeah. Eli Roth meets CBS television.
Exactly. But instead of adults and celebrities, they're blaming high school children, nearly close to college year.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, I just thought it kind of, to me, took away the power of Monokuma, because as the actor for Monokuma, his motivation and his thought process and all that stuff kind of disappeared because it really didn't belong to him anymore. So, do you know what I mean? But in later years and in the fandom and all that stuff, at least Monokuma has retained his sense of self and being his own entity and not necessarily a product of another evil mastermind.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's very interesting. It's very interesting, but it was quite a shock when they told me.
Yeah, especially with so many other characters as well. Like, there are some characters that you are shocked from who you might know who they are, who they're not, or who they're being controlled by. Especially with one character in Danganronpa 2, who was the 5th culprit, but also turns out that character is not actually human. That carries the
I remember that.
I'm not saying the character's name, but I'll say that she's voiced by Christina Cabanos.
V?
Cabanos.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I'm not saying the character's name, but she's voiced 2 characters, and you have to guess it. It's Chiaki Nanami, the most well-loved character in the game, but sadly turned to a somewhat disliked character in the game. It's weird, like at first everyone loves her, and because it's Danganronpa, it's a fandom. Fandoms can be toxic at times, and I'll admit that because I'm a Danganronpa fan. Fans don't really like her anymore, which I don't understand.
Oh, that's too bad.
And she voices Himiko Umeno, the Ultimate Mage. Well, she's actually called the Ultimate Magician. And I don't want to say this because I know anime fans love Himiko, but she's one of my least favorite characters in the game series.
Oh.
I think it's because that she's quite bratty, quite childish, and when she's in a trial, she'll always praise herself and her magic, but she doesn't really praise anyone else. She's quite like a bratty, selfish character, like something from Super 316. But so bratty. I cannot bear her.
Cannot bear her.
So what would you like to hear next? Would you like to hear facts or recommendations for Danganronpa? Up to you.
Up to you. You tell me. It's so funny. You're telling me about the show that I'm in. I love that.
Oh, sorry.
You're schooling me. You're schooling me because I haven't seen it.
Fair enough. Well, if you want to watch some really good Danganronpa YouTubers, here are my top 3.
Great.
Top 3. So my first one, she's an absolute sweetheart. She's absolutely a great Danganronpa YouTuber. She had a break at first, and then she came back, and she's bigger than ever. She's a star reborn. And that's Weeby News.
Weeby News, okay. On YouTube.
Or by her fans, she's called Weeby. And she is amazing. She's sweet inside and out. She's great, good content. And she even did fun fact videos that I didn't even know, and just character analysis videos as well. She's just
that's awesome.
She's brilliant, and she also does. She even did a video of Danganronpa 3, and she was going to guess who is the mastermind, who's going to be killed off first, who's going to be executed first. She's just. I can also compliment Weeby News all day. She's just brilliant. Probably my favorite Danganronpa YouTuber in general. But the other 2 who I really like, I think they're just really great YouTubers. They have great content and great videos and great mentionings, everything. And that's Blaze Kid, the Ultimate Game.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's Omega Falwins. He's from Puerto Rico, and when Danganronpa 3 came out, he played it all in Japanese. He didn't play it. He didn't play it in English first. He played it in Japanese first. And I'm quite dumb, to be fair. And I don't think I could play in Japanese because I would have no idea.
I couldn't either when I'm sweating. That's amazing. So he's not Japanese and he doesn't speak Japanese.
No, he's from Puerto Rico, and he speaks a little bit of English, but he plays the game in Japan so much better than I think I ever will.
That's hysterical. You'll have to, when we finish here today, you'll have to send me these names because I don't have a piece of paper, because I would really love to check them out. Really.
I will.
Do you know any people on TikTok? Are you on TikTok?
I used to be, but I don't go on it that much, but I'm planning to go back on it for you, for the Monokuma content.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I just started just about a week ago, and it's going crazy. So I do a bunch of Monokuma content, very strange. I've got a thing going right now where I have roommates, and my roommates are Octagawa, Monokuma, Takato, It's very funny. It's like this weird TV show content with these anime characters, and I do all the voices, and it's really, really fun. Really fun.
So jealous.
I'm excited. I haven't been on TikTok before, but I'm a filmmaker and I like to write, and I like to, I'm pretty good with my phone, but I'm figuring out filters and editing and all that stuff. But now I'm doing like voice overlay and effects and transitions and text, and it's just so much fun to get these responses. Whereas it used to be, I'd make a web series or a film or whatever, and you'd be lucky if anyone can see it. Now you've got tens of thousands of people, hopefully more, watching stuff that you made that afternoon. So it's kind of a fun little app.
Well, there's actually one series you've made that is also an award-winning series, and I'm going to mention that in a minute. I'm going to mention one last Danganronpa fact before we get to the next subject. And do you want to know why the blood's pink?
Well, to me, I would assume it's because they wanted to make it more accessible, and to get a certain rating that made it accessible to a certain age. Is that not true?
That's half true. That is actually mostly true, but it's also because of Psychopop. That's why Marco goes Psychopop in the game. But yeah, it's supposed to be of the visuality of the game as well. That's why the blood's pink. But ironically, in Danganronpa 3, the anime, not Danganronpa 3, Danganronpa 3, big differences. The one arc is the blood's red.
Oh, wow.
And we don't know why it changed, but
that's interesting. Yeah, I like the idea of it being pink. I think that's really an interesting choice and different and unexpected.
Now, one last question. If you were in Hope's Big Academy in Danganronpa, what would be your ultimate talent?
Besides staying alive?
It doesn't have to be voice actor. It can be anything that you think you've got the best talent apart from anything. It can be ultimate voice actor or whatever, but it could be anything that you have the strongest talent you ever got.
I think probably if we're talking realistically, it'd probably be comedian.
Yours be comedian. That'd be great.
Yeah, wouldn't that be funny? But I would like it to be like really powerful. Like sometimes you actually laugh yourself to death, because that would be cool.
Imagine
you can't stop laughing. So it's a talent, but it's also an evil power.
You are hearing that makes me have hints that he's the mastermind.
Yeah.
So he's basically the Joker mastermind.
Yes.
The Joker.
Yeah.
Funny. Right, I have to write to Kodaka, the creator, and said, you better make Danganronpa 4.
Do it, right?
I don't care if you're having a break from the series. You've had your break for the past 2 or 3 years or whichever.
Exactly.
So please, 4th one, and bring the ultimate comedian so Brian can face him.
Get back to work.
Yeah. Get back to your fan base laugh. Now, new subject, and it's your series. I think it's called Acting Dead.
Yeah.
So, can you tell us about Acting Dead for us?
Yeah, so it's a web series. I think it's 8 episodes with a bunch of bonus content. I just want to create a bonus content. Bone, yes. It is basically a hyper-realized world, Los Angeles, where every bit of entertainment is about zombies, which is not untrue and not unlike the way it is currently. So these bad actors who live in LA go to this company that actually turns them into real zombies, so they are more likely to be cast as zombies in new TV shows and stuff like that. So it follows the life of this guy named Tate Blodgett, who's this kind of mediocre to bad actor, and he turns himself into a zombie and becomes this huge star, although it takes a while. And all the people he meets along the way, it's kind of like Shaun of the Dead meets The Office is probably the style of it. And it's very fun. We have quite a few celebrities in it. I filmed in course of 30 days. We had 100 plus cast and crew. I put my mom in it. She's an extra in one of the scenes. That was kind of fun. And back in 2016, the Emmy Awards in Los Angeles opened up their nominations to short form content, which is what the category ours fell into. And an actress in the show, Patrika Darbo, if you Google her, she's been in everything. She got nominated for Best Actress in a Short Form Comedy, and she won. So it was
congrats,
crazy. Yes. And as the producer, I also got, an Emmy as well. So I have an Emmy on my television at home. And it really was just a phenomenal, amazing night. I got to take my mom to the Emmys and walk the red carpet, and Ryan Seacrest gave Patrika the award, and we went to the big party afterwards and met all these celebrities. Like, it was, I've been an actor for a long time, but this was on a completely different world that I found myself in. And it's really been awesome. So I've gone to the Emmys every year since then. But I don't have anything to get nominated for yet. But it's a really, really funny show. Jamie Forsythe did the music, and he's worked on a lot of TV shows as a composer. It's kind of like an Arrested Development style of music, which we loved. And you can see it now at actingdead.com. You can see all the episodes. So it's so much fun. I love it. I really want to do season 2, but I'm waiting to get, funding for it. So
yeah,
who knows if that'll happen.
We'll see. Because
we'll see.
There is something I wanted to mention to you, Bill, speaking about Acting Dead. This is why I brought it up. Is because, one, it won a Grammy, which is blimming great.
Emmy, yes.
Emmy, sorry,
yes.
my bad. I'm sure.
Okay. Grammy would be great.
That is fantastic. I'm really happy for you. But
thank you.
I remember years ago, this is when I had my first Twitter account, but I took it off because of reasons. I originally asked you, are you because my account was Gorilla's Ghoul 97, not Feature Dream 997, and I asked you, are you doing any auditions for the series, because I really want to be in it, and you went, yeah, auditions are coming on the way. And I wanted to mention that I'm from England, but I thought, Klein, it's better not to mention it, because you probably won't be accepted, and you have to do so much to do so. But we'll see how everything goes, because I'm part of Equity now. I've got my Equity card.
Good for you.
Thank you. Because in America you have SAG-AFTRA or something.
Yeah, so we have Actors Equity, and that's for theater, for stage, and then we have SAG-AFTRA, which used to be 2 unions that merged. Television and radio and film and TV kind of merged together. So I'm in both of those. But I got my first union card being in the tour of Les Miserables.
Oh, wow.
In San Francisco, I was in the tour. So that got me my Actors Equity card. And from that, I was able to buy in to SAG when I moved to LA. So, but that's really great. I mean, it's difficult to get your union card. So congratulations. That's really, really great. Yeah, big accomplishment.
Thank you. It's because I'm in theatre college, and it's the best thing I've ever had in my life, because this is what I've always wanted. I've been to drama school. I've been doing acting all my life, from kindergarten to high school, and now I'm in college, which is the absolute best thing ever happened to me. I now have my podcast, which is a big, massive dream come true for me as well. And once I finish my second year next year in college, I'm going to university and study drama again.
Good for you.
Yeah, because I'm planning to go to study in Dallas, Texas, because there's a lot of voiceovers places in Texas. And that's why if I go to university there, I'm going to ask in job centers if I can try and audition for some stuff. I know I'm British, but I've got different ranges. I've got a few tricks up my sleeve.
Well, yeah, but also too, like, you go to Texas, you go to California, like, being British that's a superpower. Like, that will work for you, not against you. I think it's great. I think it's really, really great. There are jobs out there just waiting for you. So go get them.
I'm gonna go for it, because especially a lot of Australian actors are in American movies, and they sound more British than we do.
I know, it's true.
Joke. That's a joke.
It's true. No, it's really true.
It's, yeah, especially Margot Robbie. You think she's British, but she's from Australia.
Right.
Love Margot Robbie.
I do too. It's so funny, there's it's not with a lot of actors. It's usually men more than women. But if I'm sometimes watching a movie and I hear something strange in someone's voice, I'm like, wait a minute. And then I go to IMDb and look them up. I'm like, oh, they're from Wales, or they're from New Zealand. Like, I knew it. I knew I heard a word. My ear just like it pops out of my ear. But there's a lot of female actors where they hide it completely, and I can't hear it. But sometimes the guys, they need to work a little harder.
Absolutely. Just, it's amazing how many actors we know nowadays that have come from big movies, because they sometimes start smaller, then they get bigger and more opportunities and so much more. Like Margot Robbie, she was in Neighbours, an Australian soap opera. Then she was in Focus with Will Smith, and then she was in Suicide Squad, which that didn't help her career. It did as well, but the movie that made her big was Wolf on Wall Street.
You're right. You're absolutely right. And things happen in people's career where sometimes a film is great for an actor, but sometimes they want to stay in Los Angeles or stay in New York and work on a TV show where it's, Monday through Friday, certain hours, get your health insurance. Like, these big celebrities, they have most of them have the same needs and desires as everybody else. Or they have a family, so they want to stay at home. So people go from little films to blockbusters, or they go from blockbusters to television. Some of them find their way in voiceovers because they really find that to be comfortable and a nice way of generating income. So what it does do is it does definitely make it more difficult for the other guys, the actors lower on the rung, to find their way into those worlds, because now there's celebrities doing voiceovers. Now there's celebrities doing web series, with all these apps that have started with was it Quibi that started, and all this stuff. The web became big. And so the world that I was in with my show, Acting Dead, started to get infiltrated by network produced shows and stuff like that. So it's a weird, constantly moving entertainment world. And it's always been moving and always been changing, but certainly with digital, with cable, with the web, with technology becoming affordable to everybody, there's just all these lines that used to be very clear, and now they're all blurred. So it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. The good thing is that there really are no rules, and you should never take no for an answer. And the bad thing is money still is very powerful, and it's the big studios that have it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Amazing how a little piece of paper with numbers on a picture of an old man or a woman controls your life. It basically.
I've never heard it said that way. That's very funny.
A piece of paper controls your life. Get a home, get a job, everything. Blooming heck. Well, you might not never know. Maybe in the future, when paper's all gone, all the trees have died, your next currency is blooming dirt.
Well, come on. No, it's crypto. It's Bitcoin. This is where we are.
All right, fine.
I'm so scared of it.
Just keep recycling.
Yeah, exactly.
Just keep recycling and you'll save the earth.
Yes, exactly. Well,
mostly.
Oh, man.
Right. So what are you working on at the moment?
I'm doing voiceovers. I'm doing conventions. They just started again. I've got 3 more coming up this year, which isn't a lot, but for a year that still contains a pandemic, not too bad. Like I said, I'm doing a lot of videos on TikTok now. I've got a couple new shows coming out, some that I can't talk about. I just voiced Helios in Sailor Moon Eternal on Netflix.
Going to watch that.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but it was fun to do. On Netflix right now, I've got D-Stars, and there's a couple of other things that are happening. So I'm just kind of still coming out of the whole quarantine world, you know. But it's good. It's good. Work is starting to pick up, and I'm enjoying it. And so I might be coming to London in October for
no way. I have to come.
Yeah. It's for Anime League. I don't think I'm in London. I can't remember where I am. I thought it was north somewhere, but I can't think of the name of the city.
As long as you're coming to England, I'm glad. Hopefully, I'll be going there. Hopefully, have to tell.
Yeah, I'll definitely let you know. And even if I am up north somewhere, I'll probably pop over to London proper before heading back to America. So it'd be fun to meet up with you.
That would be great.
Yeah. Yeah, around Halloween time. It's that
Halloween
week-ish.
time, nice.
Yeah.
I guess that's a great time for Monokuma then.
I know. Maybe at that point I'll be like full cosplay. Like that's all I ever dress as.
Do you think I might do for you? Like in October, I've got an pad downstairs. I might draw Monokuma in a pumpkin or something, or dressed as one.
Oh, that's cute. I love that.
Monokuma with a pumpkin head, jack-o'-lantern head.
Oh my gosh. New marketing, new merchandise. You can make $1 million.
I'll be a millionaire by now if I did that.
I know.
Well, millionaire in the anime world, not in the real world.
Right, exactly.
Speaking of Beastars, what you mentioned before, what was it like being in Beastars? Because it's a very big series. It started off small, but then it became bigger.
Yeah, that's what the director told me. So what I liked a lot about it was the animation. I thought the animation was cool and dark and moody, and the music was great. And I haven't been in I've been in some dark shows. You know, Naruto had some dark times, and Bleach had some dark moments, whatever. But just the whole, but the whole tone, the whole tone of Beastars is very just like moody. You know, the colors are like sepia and muted, and I just really liked that. But my character Dom, the peacock, I probably recorded the whole series. I think it was only like a 12-episode arc for season 1. I probably recorded it in 2 sessions, you know, a while ago. So it went by very quickly, and I haven't yet seen any kind of response or fandom or anything to it. So I need to investigate it, because like I say, the director told me that it's hugely popular. So who knows what's going to happen with more content that may be coming.
The best way to find fan art and more things for your character you voice, the best way is go on Tumblr or Pinterest.
Oh, great. Okay.
Because there'll be more fan art and more photos of your character. Is it Dom?
Right, then. Dom, Dom the peacock.
Great. Love him. He's so cool.
Yeah, he's so funny.
Now, next series that I've got to mention, and you just actually helped me, and that's Bungo Stray Dogs, one of my favorite animes ever.
Yeah, it's great. Octagawa, so much fun. I was really excited to book that character, number one, because, you know, I've been doing this for a long time. And as I said before, I don't have a lot of characters that have merchandise. You know, Takato doesn't have any merchandise for the most part. No, it's difficult to find. Yeah, it's difficult to find like a character, or, you know what I mean, a figure, you know. I found a couple, but they're small and few and far between. So I was really excited with Monokuma, with all the merchandise. But all the cosplay stuff, all the wigs and the costumes and the black coats and the figures for Octagawa, I was just so excited that it exists, you know. Strangely, I haven't seen tons of cosplay for him. When I go to a con and people know that I'm coming, it usually ends up being a lot of Danganronpa. There's been a few Bungo Stray Dogs things, but that's really fun. But he's a great character. He's got this interesting relationship with Dazai and with his sister, and growing up, and his chronic cough. And it's just like, he's just so multi-layered and interesting. And I'm really excited to do it. I just finished the Danganronpa Bungo Stray Dogs Juan, the little chibi characters.
Yes, I've watched it. I love it.
It was so weird though, because it was difficult to look at the screen to do the dub and do your regular Octagawa voice with this little tiny character. It kind of like goes against what you want to do.
Yeah.
But it was fun. I do hope they bring back more of the traditional series. Because I would definitely love to voice him again. Yeah, he's cool.
He probably will, because there's so many volumes left in the series.
That's what I heard.
Going on. I remember before I watched season 2, because I just love the opening song. The opening song of Bungo Stray Dogs 2 is probably my favorite one ever. And I watched Bungo Stray Dogs Dead Apple.
Oh yeah.
Brilliant anime movie. Really good.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best anime movies based on an anime series. Sorry, go on.
Oh yeah, it's funny you say that. I love that one. I also love anime series was Blue Exorcist film.
Blue Exorcist.
But what I loved the most about the Blue Exorcist film was the score. They had like the Prague Symphony. I don't know what it was, but it was this epic score for this film. So I was so excited. I'm like, wow, they put some money into this. But it's a good movie. I'm not in it a lot, I don't think, in the Blue Exorcist film, but I just thought it was so well produced that it excited me. Music affects me a lot in the shows that I do. Durarara with that great jazz music is just so great and edgy, and it's so cool.
Especially that some actors in Blue Exorcist are in Danganronpa, like Bryce Papenbrook, who plays Rin, plays Nagito, and Makoto, Cal Hebert, Bon, Shuichi. Sorry, not Shuichi. Kazuichi. Same thing. Just itchy in it. Johnny Young.
Yeah, we're also lucky. Johnny. Oh yeah, Johnny. Johnny and I have done a lot of stuff together. We did Doraemon. I think a couple seasons of Doraemon together, and he was so funny. He used a really different voice in that series than I had ever heard him use before. This little kid, this little boy voice. And before I knew that he was in the show, I had no idea who it was. And I saw him coming out of the booth one day. I'm like, wait, that's you? It's amazing. He's great. It's a funny show. It didn't get the response that it should have, but I really love doing that show.
Doraemon is very, very big in Japan, though. In America,
totally. Yeah. Doraemon is Japan's Mickey Mouse, basically.
Yeah.
And
I was say Barney, but yeah, Mickey's probably better.
Not Barney, no.
No. Yeah.
That's so funny.
I was going to keep that shot, but I had to let it out loud because it's a big blue cat. No,
right. Here, there we go.
There's one anime I really, really love, and I think the whole series should get dubbed sooner or later, and that's Gintama.
I don't know it.
It's so good. It's an anime series. It's like a samurai ninja anime series, and it's more of a comedy because Gin-san, who is the main character, Gintaka Sakata, he is lazy, he's rude, he's dirty. It's very funny, and the anime makes fun of all of anime genres. Basically, Gintama is one anime that has all genres: parody, man service, fan service, comedy, ecchi, harem, horror, comedy, drama, action, sci-fi, so much.
I would love that. That sounds amazing.
I'll be sure to send you a photo of the series because it is funny, it is weird, it is cool.
Yeah, do.
But yeah, because it started in 2006 and Funimation did an English dub for the movie, just the movie. And then in Canada, they did the Gintama dub of an arc called, I think it was called Gintama Degrees or something like that. But they did a handful of episodes and then continue doing it. So maybe, hopefully in the future,
Yeah.
Or Sentai can get, or anywhere can get the rights for Gintama, and they do the series from beginning to end, because there is so many episodes. Not as much as One Piece, but more than Bleach, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh my God, Bleach, the show that never died. Well, it's
coming back now.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard. Let's see if Yumi Chika comes back. Maybe.
Yeah, hopefully.
I hope so.
Looking forward to it. Right, before we finish this video, do you have any advice for your viewers if they want to be an actor, director, or anything that you can help them out with?
Yeah, so basically, like I said, the road is difficult and long, and it can take your whole life to work towards your career, but that's part of the career, is the work.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? And my biggest thing nowadays is there's so much content available and being created, and so many avenues to show your talent and to flex your muscles and do what you want to do, that taking no for an answer is really just not an option anymore. So if it's something that you really want to do, get out there and do it. It's smart to learn how to use technology. So if you don't know how, take some classes. You can learn things for free on YouTube or your friends or whatever. If you want to be an actor, if you just want to be a voice actor, know that it is acting. So take some acting classes. Singing has always helped. So music lessons is really helpful, vocal lessons. But just basically enjoy what you're doing. Enjoy the whole journey of it. Don't pay attention to the haters, because they're out there. Don't read the comments, as they say, but I do. I read all the comments. But I just think it's exciting if someone has this dream of what they want to do and they get out there and do it, because it happens to me all the time. I find myself in new situations constantly that I never would have believed I would be in years ago, or, much less as a kid. So just do it. That's my option. That's my opinion. Just get out there and do it.
That's very great. Thank you so much, Brian.
You're welcome.
Well, thank you for watching, everyone. So I will say this, before you turn off this video, please give us a like, comment, and subscribe. And if you really enjoyed it, please follow Mr. Brian Beacock on Twitter, Instagram, and his new TikTok video for Manakuma. So I can't do it, my voice is going. But yeah, please follow and support Brian Beacock on social media, and please go see him on his conventions. Just be sure to check out. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brian. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.